Hello, professional women. I hope you all are doing well today. I was asked a question of a topic to discuss about how to overcome management style differences. And so, in this video today, I'm going to share with you three management styles and two tips that you need to keep in mind when you are trying to overcome some of those differences with your manager and what you can do to have a smoother transition in your particular role in the workplace. Now, if you are new to me, my name is Dr. Jacinta Lamontai. I'm the CEO of Excite Excellence Incorporated, and I specialize in helping professional women who are emerging leaders, established executives, speak in a more concise manner, and communicate with confidence at work. So when you think about management styles, there's a lot of different things out there, a lot of different management styles. There's manager, you got micromanager, you got this and that. I'm going to break it down in a more simpler format for the sake of this video, and just to talk about, generally speaking, the type of managers that I've seen over the past 20 years that I've been working in a manager role, a C-suite role, and as a director. And so the three management styles that I have noticed are: one, the professional; two, the unprofessional; and three, the in between. Now, I'm going to talk a bit more about each one of these to see if you can identify what kind of manager do you have right now. So the professional manager is going to be that person who is professional all the time, consistently all of the time. They are always very polite. They always communicate in a professional manner. You don't see them communicate in an unprofessional manner at all. I mean, for the most part, you see them the way that they are. These type of managers are really easy to work with because they already have a certain deposition about themselves that makes it easy to work with managers who are professional. They're about the business, whatever the task is at hand. These are the individuals who are going to make life a little bit easy for you as a professional woman, and you're probably going to learn a lot from them. So just keep that in mind. That is one type of manager that I have seen. So put in the comments below, what kind of manager do you have right now? Do you feel like you have a professional manager? Let me know. I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. Now, the second management style that I have noticed is the unprofessional manager. Now, the unprofessional manager is going to be the person who talks about things that are not appropriate at work. They may talk about what they did over the weekend. They may talk about what they did last year. They may say things about other coworkers, or they may say things about other clients that they've worked with in a very condescending, not nice type of way. Now, if you have this type of manager that's unprofessional, it is very difficult to work with them if you are professional also, because the two just like they bump heads, because you have somebody that is really professional and then you have somebody that is not professional, and it's like oil and water. It doesn't mix that well. It makes it really challenging, but there's things that you can do that I'm going to talk about in a few moments to help you bring some control back into those situations if that's the type of manager that you have. So if you have an unprofessional manager, you have to elevate your skills so that their unprofessionalism doesn't rub off on you as you are developing yourself into the professional woman that you want to be. Now, the third management style that I have seen is probably the one that is the most complicated, in my opinion, and are very, very difficult to deal with. And that is the in-between. Oh, ladies, the in-betweens are hard. And this is the reason why, because on one end, they come across as professional in certain situations. They're professional, they speak professionally, they are leaders that you need them to be, and individuals that are leading you as their manager. But then on the other end, what happens is that these individuals are the people that will be really unprofessional. And so it's hard to gauge between the two because you're not sure exactly who you are speaking with, what's going on. It's hard for you to just deal with them because you don't know who you're dealing with. One minute they can be professional, next minute they can be just really unprofessional. So it's frustrating, I know. But that type of management style is kind of hard to deal with. So now you've heard the three management styles. What type of management style are you dealing with? Put it in the comments below so I can see exactly who you're working with and provide you with some guidance on maybe how to deal with them. Now, the first thing that I would ask you to do when you have these type of management style differences is just as a disclaimer, from my experience, the last two, the unprofessional and the in between, are the hardest to deal with. They're very hard to deal with. And I think the in between is probably the hardest to deal with just because you don't know what's going on. But what I want you to do is to really think about yourself. When you see these differences happen, think about yourself and what is your management style? Even though you may not be in the manager role, but what type of management style do you have? And take an honest look. Write it down. Do you feel like you're professional, unprofessional, in between? And if you feel like you're in the latter two, then what do you need to do to help yourself become more professional? If you feel like you're professional, what can you do to elevate your skills to become even more professional? This is the reason why you're following my channel, you're following me on my platforms, because I'm really here to help you depending on where you are at your journey. Sometimes you may think you're being professional and you may not really be acting in a professional way. That's why I'm here to help you. So think about your management style and reflect on it and figure out what it is that you need to do to try to help you when you're dealing with a manager that has a different style than you. The best course of action that I would recommend for anybody to do is to be professional, regardless of what type of manager you're dealing with. Stay professional. That's going to help you and save you a lot of headaches in the future. Now, the next thing I want to mention to you as my second tip for you. First is just reflect on what kind of style you have. But the second is to bring in control. Bring in some form of control when you're talking to these people, because you want to put yourself in a situation where you're more focused on the task at hand. So if you are communicating with your manager and you see that there's a difference, I've noticed that if you really start to communicate in a way where you're focusing in on the project, what tasks need to be completed, that will allow you to not feel as stressed out when they start talking about unprofessional things. I talk about this in my executive communication masterclass. I will link it in the description below, but this is something that we really dive into in terms of how you can turn those conversations around if someone is being really unprofessional to you, and how you can bring back in order. So I'm not going to go into a ton of detail on that here in this video, but know that the masterclass is there. That's something that you definitely want to check out that will help you on your journey as it relates to that. So be more task oriented, really focusing on the task at hand, and know that it's okay to have management style differences. I've worked with managers in those three categories, and each one of them have their pros and cons. The ones that have been the best for me have been professional, obviously, but you can work with either one. As long as you know how you want to communicate and how you communicate, how they communicate, then there's a balance. You can find a balance to where if you have somebody that's unprofessional and they talk about something silly, if you feel like it's appropriate, you can laugh, but then get back to business and get back to work. So I hope this information was helpful to you. Feel free to like this video. It gets out to more professional women, and share it, and feel free to subscribe, because I have a lot of content here where I talk about salary negotiations, executive presence, executive communication, just a lot of those skills that we just were not taught as professional women. So I want to hear from you. Let me know what type of manager style that you're dealing with, and what are some things that you're doing to overcome those challenges, and I will support you as best I can.